Hey, it's Tpok. I am back in Katawa Shoujo, and this is the 100th episode, so I'm gonna do an hour-long video with Rin here. So, he picks up a handkerchief and cleans his glasses with incredibly meticulous care before walking over to us. Before he's within earshot of us, Rin says something to me in a quick, quiet voice. Change is the scariest thing in the world to me. And I seriously don't know if I want to change into a person who could do the thing the teacher wants me to do. I don't know if I could, even if I wanted to. Hello again. Hello. What's going on? He smiles a bit sheepishly, looking at both of us with uninhibited interest. That doesn't sound very nice. Oh, nothing. We were just talking about that thing with your acquaintance in the gallery. For Rin's works, sort of. Oh ho. Any decisions? We decided we want you to back off. I look at Rin, who's trying to arrange the bothered expression on her face into something else. Anyway, I don't think I have much else to say other than that you should go for it. Uh-oh. Triple choice. I'm going to save for this. I'm going to remember in her own image. Yeah. Okay. Because it would be exciting. Well, if it's because it's exciting, I don't think that's a good one. Exciting. You'd be wasting your talents. No. It isn't at you at all to hesitate like this. I think I'm going, yeah. Right? Why hesitate? Why would you hesitate? She's afraid of change. It isn't at all like you to hesitate like this. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let's do it. This isn't like you. You told me that people should do things they can't just because they can. And now you're being all wishy-washy yourself about something this important. I don't think I want to talk about this. I'm going. Rin, oh, did we mess up? Rin stands up and trots out of the room without anyone saying anything more. I'm sorry, I think I made her upset. Haha, don't worry about it. She'll be fine, I'm sure. I'll talk to her later. Nomiya looks at me over his circular pink glasses, smiling sympathetically. You've made friends with her then, Nakai? Well, something like that, I guess. Depends on how you look at it. To be honest, I'm not really sure. It's more like me and Rin just tend to hang around each other regularly, talking or not, about something that more often resembles some twisted mockery of philosophy rather than normal, everyday things that friends chat about. Well, that's good, isn't it? You're a new student, and we should be promoting integration into the student body and such. Can't remember all the buzzwords they spew at the faculty and Yamaku Foundation meetings, but that's how it is. Why would that be how it is? It doesn't make sense. That's how it is. Why is it like that? I don't get it. Sorry, that's my chair. Tezuka isn't the most social person around these parts either. Yeah, that's definitely true. So she's talked about my suggestion to you. Oh, no, not really. I think it's been more me pressing her to decide something. Maybe I shouldn't have. No, I'm sure it's fine. I'm too soft with her, even when I shouldn't. I don't really know how to handle Tezuka. She's so independent and willful. Why is your tongue out? I wonder if this is what every old geezer of an art teacher who got his hands on a young and fiery prodigy felt like. He chuckles ironically to himself for a little bit, turning to face Rin's latest work, which he left drying on the easel. She departed so abruptly that I wonder if she considers it's finally finished. So let's see the painting then. He leans in closer, peering at the canvas. It draws you in, doesn't it? Apparently, I drew you in. I don't want you in my face. Nomiya stands back straight. His face a dreamy, nostalgic visage. I don't answer him, as he seems to be taking my agreement as a given. I sometimes stay here after hours just to look at Tezuka's paintings. She's really just prodigious, and at such a young age. I get shivers just thinking of what she could become with a few more years of refinement. You asked me what makes an artist, remember? This is it. They take a piece of the world and reshape it in their own image. Metaphorically, of course. Looking at her makes you wonder what the world looks like through her eyes. It's a wonderful thing, to be young and full of passion, the most extraordinary time of your life. You would do well to remember that, Nakai. Yes, sir. It's so silly. People always ask artists, where do you get your ideas? As if ideas were something sold at the market for pocket change. You can't explain inspiration. For people like Tezuka, it's like breathing. It's an instinct. I've met maybe one or two of the same kind of raw potential, but no amount of potential will amount to anything if one doesn't work to realize it. It's practice, technique, skill. Draw for an hour every day for a few years, and even the most hopeless case can become a passable artist. Tezuka is not brilliant because she was born with natural talent for this kind of thing. She's brilliant because she works harder than anyone, ever since she learned to hold a pen, most likely. And all of it with her feet, no less. Absolutely phenomenal. Silence finally lands in the club room as Nomiya lets himself get drawn back into Rin's painting, gently murmuring acceptance toward the still wet canvas. What kind of things do you paint yourself? As if waking from a reverie, he looks at me, surprised at my talking to him. Oh, I don't, not anymore. I became an art teacher only after my career in that field came to an end. Now I just pass on knowledge to the next generation. The way Nomiya answers is curious, both giving and withholding information. I feel like asking more, but he cuts in before I get the chance. Now you should run along, my boy. It's almost dinner time, isn't it? And yes, sir. Have a good evening. You too. I quickly collect my stuff and step out into the deserted hallway, leaving the teacher alone with his musings. The weekend will be here soon. It's amazing how fast time flies here. I promised Emmy I'd join her for the celebration of her triumph at the track meet last week. That should be plenty of fun. Well, I am scared. I'm scared I messed up. That is not good. Are you sure you want to go? The weather that has been wonderful for all of June has finally taken a turn for the worse. The leaden clouds drooping over the town look worrisome, and the air feels heavy and still, just like before rain. The forecast says there's a 60% chance of rain this afternoon. Maybe this will mark the beginning of the rainy season. Of course I'm sure. Been waiting for this all week. Emmy had planned a picnic at some nearby park with snacks aplenty brought from the convenience store, but with the weather this gloomy it seems risky. I asked some other people to come too, but they didn't want to go because of the weather. We have to prove them wrong. Wrong how? You know, like how it always rains when you think it won't, and when you think it will, it doesn't. We'll go no matter what, so it's a win-win situation. I've been going without sweets for weeks because of practice for the track meet, but now I can splurge on anything I want. Nothing is going to stop me now. I thought you were all about a healthy lifestyle and stuff. Oh ho ho, Hisao, you understand so little. There's not a single girl on this planet who doesn't love sweets. I don't like sweets. She doesn't count. Anyway, is this clear? Completely. We will go and eat our fill of sweets. Damn straight we will. I'm going to have to work it off later, but it's so worth it. Emmy seems to be extremely determined about this. She's positively exhilarated, brimming with energy as always, but something seems special today. It looks like she can hardly stop herself from jumping up and down on the spot. Come on! I grasp the wooden handle of the umbrella I brought and start to follow the two girls who seem to have no qualms about leaving me behind if I keep daydreaming. Sorry, my umbrella is really fancy. The old-fashioned kind with the curved handle and a metal spike at the end. It used to belong to my grandfather. It looks like an antique, but it's in really good shape, almost as good as new. It's really big, too. I remember how my grandfather, my grandmother, and I all fit neatly under it when a rainstorm caught us on an afternoon walk years ago, when I was around 9 or 10. My grandparents are both gone now, but I still have the umbrella to keep me dry when it rains. We walk along the road leading down from the school towards the convenience store, the clouds casting their dark shadow down on us. The weather seems to be taking a turn for the worse, and I'm pretty sure I just felt a raindrop on my head. Didn't you guys think of taking umbrellas? It really looks like it'll rain. Rin looks at her limply hanging sleeves and shrugs her shoulders. I don't have one. Besides, a little rain won't kill us. She pushes her chest out, looking very confident about that. We aren't made of sugar. I thought that's exactly what girls were made of, especially considering what you're planning to gorge yourself on today. She just sticks out her tongue in reply. The walk down from the school to the local shopping district is not a long one, but it's not very short either. It's all downhill, so our steps roll easily, but time stretches out nevertheless. The distance is right there, in that gray area where you don't expect the trip to be quickly over with, but you aren't preparing for a long walk either. Thus the trip is slightly too long to stay comfortably quiet the whole time, though the girls don't seem to mind. Rin walks calmly ahead, seemingly lost in thought. I'm kind of wary about starting a conversation since last time didn't end very well for either of us. I haven't exchanged a single word with her since then. Emmy, on the other hand, is way too happy about just walking. She seems to literally jump a little on every step, or skip over cracks, or balance on the edge of the sidewalk. Every now and then she comments on something, to which Rin replies in an automatic-sounding, nonsensical way that makes Emmy giggle a little. As we reach the bottom of the hill, the first raindrops begin to fall. I feel one hit the top of my head, then two more hit my nose in quick succession. Oh geez. It's not one or two rain clouds anymore. The entire sky has turned shadowy gray, billowing rain clouds swirling right on top of us. Oh shoot. I guess we aren't going to have a picnic then. What now? Maybe we could have a rain picnic. A picnic in the rain. No, we don't just catch a cold, and I don't like getting me or my snacks wet. I kind of like it, not the snacks part though. Emmy considers our problematic situation for a moment while I open my umbrella and lift it up, trying to hold it so the three of us get covered. Hey, Hisao, have you been to the Shanghai yet? It's a cafe somewhere around here, right? I've heard of it. It's a nice place. Let's go there and wait out the rain. If it's really a quick shower, we can still go out for the picnic, and if it gets worse, we'll just order cake there instead. Neither Rin nor I have better ideas, so with Emmy taking the lead, we start walking briskly along a side street. The cafe is only a few blocks away, but even with the umbrella, we can't avoid getting slightly damp. If the rain keeps coming down, harder and harder. Raindrops leave tiny dots on the black asphalt road, which then combine into bigger patches like pointillist artwork being made in front of our eyes in mere seconds. It's pouring heavily, drumming on the hoods of the cars parked on the sides of the street and already flowing into little creeks along the sidewalks. We had a really bad storm a couple of days ago. I think I posted a message about it because my power went out. But it was like storm mixed with tornado mixed with power outage and high wind. We actually had wind damage on the house, so Yeah, anyways, the yellow light shining through the rainwater streaming down the windows looks very warm and inviting. I shake the excess water off the umbrella and head inside with them, following Emmy to a vacant table in the furthest corner of the small cafe. The place is almost full. Apparently other people had the same idea as Emmy, and now we're all stranded together in this cozy little place. Varnished wooden pillars and paper screens mixed with Parisian-style tables and chairs in discordant harmony, a contrast of old and new. Have I not been to the Shanghai yet? In Rin's Arc? I guess this is the first time. Light jazz plays quietly in the background, though it's mostly drowned out by the murmur of the customers. There's only one waitress serving the full house, frantically gliding from one table to another and trying to keep up with everything. To my surprise, I think I recognize her. I watch her deliver a tray of teacups and pastries to another table taken by Yamaku students, then take an order from a middle-aged couple sitting across from us before finally turning to serve us. Yuko? Now that she's close and facing me, I see that it really is her, the part-time librarian of Yamaku in full waitress attire. It's a pretty cute outfit, and she has tied her hair up in buns to match. It's a completely different image from her mousy plain style at her other job. Yuko blinks a few times looking confused, then remembers that she was about to say something. Welcome to the Shanghai. So you work here too? I thought you were a university student or something. Yes, that too. It's a part-time job, as you can see. It's Sunday, so there aren't any lectures. Good thing too, since today has been so busy I'm wishing for another pair of hands. Anyway, I'm in a bit of a rush, as you can see. What can I get you today? Emmy doesn't hesitate even for a second. Her eyes glitter like those of a kid in a candy store. Tea for everyone, and a cake for me. Yuko tries to stay as formal and professional looking as possible, smiling cheerily at my ravenous companion. Yes, today we have a choice of strawberry shortcake, raspberry layer cake, or lemon meringue pie. Strawberry. No, lemon. Actually, I'll take both. She looks at me in challenge. I'll just take the pie. Nothing. Emmy makes a face at Rin as though she had bitten into a lemon. She's clearly unhappy with her for not joining in. Oh, come on, Rin. That's not polite at all. Nothing, thank you. No, you silly. I meant that you should order something I just hit the Windows key by accident. Sorry. No, you silly. I meant that you should order something too. I'll take strawberry then. My feet are all wet. Wait, did she say strawberry or straw? Oh, I'll take a straw then. My feet are all wet. Sorry? The drinking kind of straw. One, please. Yuko is obviously uncertain of what to think about this. She fiddles with her pen and stationery for a moment, looking like she's about to cry, before deciding that we've finished ordering. Thank you very much. She bows down a little bit too deeply and scampers to safety behind the counter. After that ordeal is over with, I have a chance to relax a bit and take a better look at the surroundings. Almost every table is occupied by people happy to be out of the rain, thankfully sipping their tea while waiting to dry off. Fragments of grumbling about the lousy weather or discussions over recent homework carry from nearby tables to my ears. Each one overlaps the other, but all are covered by the sound of falling rain. After a while, Yuko returns to our table, carrying a tray with a huge teapot, 3 cups, a slice of cake, and 2 slices of pie. Oh. Did she almost drop it or something? Oh, she slaps the tray onto our tiny table with a clatter, almost sending the teapot toppling over into Rin's lap. We barely recover before she bows again and leaves, hurrying off to serve other customers. Emmy has been eyeing her strawberry cake very hungrily all this time, but somehow she managed to contain herself until Yuko was out of sight. She digs in with gusto, while I help content myself with pouring tea for everyone and placing the straw in Rin's cup. Rin looks at the way the tea swirls round and round in her white china cup, her eyes half closed, almost like she's being hypnotized. Yeah, I got pie. I pick up my fork and eye the food in front of me. The pie I got looks perfectly done, a thick layer of meringue atop a creamy lemon custard. After having the first bite, I pause, savoring the combination of tangy citrus and smooth sugary meringue. It's quite good, though a bit too sweet for me. If very good. She's talking through a mouthful of cake, already halfway through her slice, even though it's not exactly small. I want to taste some of that. Oh jeez, I thought I just got shanked. What was with that sound effect? Before I get to respond, she strikes out at my delicious pie, takes a piece with her fork and escapes with it. This is pretty good too. What are you doing? You have a slice of your own. Yeah, but if I started on that before finishing the cake, it'd be rude, don't you think? Her insolence is outrageous, but the gentleman in me allows for no retaliation. I glare angrily at her, and she replies by sticking out her tongue impishly. Emmy is even more hyper than usual today, but I don't mind. It's good for her to let off some steam. I take another sip of the tea in my cup. It's good and hot, even though I usually don't care much for tea, and the atmosphere in the cafe is very relaxing. I don't mind spending the rest of the afternoon here, not even after Emmy orders their second piece of strawberry cake and Rin spends most of the time staring fixedly at the rain streaming down from the heavens. Even Yuko rolls her eyes at the third piece of cake disappearing into Emmy's bottomless stomach just as quickly as the previous two. Despite the passing of time, it's still raining outside when we exit the Shanghai, though it seems to be letting up a little. Too bad it had to rain on your parade. Weren't we supposed to have a picnic? Emmy doesn't look too distraught over this turn of events. Nah, it's fine. We've had a good time, didn't we? I'm trying to get myself comfortable. I feel really pumped up. It isn't even raining that hard anymore. I kind of want to hike back to school to get rid of this energy and work off some of that cake. Can you work off cake that quickly? She stretches her arms out and arches her back like a cat. After rolling her shoulders around twice, she smiles brightly. And I can't really run with these legs though, especially uphill. I wish I'd brought my other ones. This notion sounds odd, spoken so casually, but I guess for Emmy, changing legs is sort of like someone else changing shoes. Maybe if I walk really fast, that'll kind of be like running. I think I'll do that. I won't be able to keep up with that going uphill though. I really am in bad shape. Plus, you'll get wet without an umbrella. It's hardly even a drizzle now. A few drops won't hurt. I think I'm gonna go to the track after I change my legs too. Emmy skips away from the protection of my umbrella and goes on ahead at a brisk pace. Suddenly, she seems to remember something and stops and spins around. See you tomorrow. Come and eat lunch with us on the roof. I'll bring enough for 3. Renee and I are left to watch her wave at us and skip off again. Soon she disappears around the street corner. I'll never understand why Emmy is perpetually in such a hurry to get somewhere. So, would you like me to walk you back to school so at least one of you won't get wet? If you are happy with it. It seems neither of us wants to keep alive the strained atmosphere from the argument a few days ago in the art room, which makes me feel relieved. I don't want to bear grudges, and I'm happy that Rin feels the same way. Thus, it is decided that we are content with each other's company for now, and we start walking in the same direction as Emmy, albeit at a considerably calmer pace. Oh, we're walking in the rain. I get a bit closer, Rin, even though the umbrella is already big enough to shelter us both. I can feel her nearby warmth providing a contrast to the chill of this rainy weather. Raindrops hitting the umbrella make a distinctive sound, playing the staccato melody of rainfall for nobody in particular. That is a pretty wide umbrella for how short the handle is. That actually is super wide. That's like... because normally an umbrella is like this long, If you take this length, the length of the handle, and I think it's like twice the size of this is like the normal span, or at least I think. Twice of this would be like here to that end. That's what I think it is, at least. And this is like triple. This is huge. Okay, I realize I haven't been outside in the rain in what feels like forever. I inhale, taking in the scent of rain, feeling the weather with all my senses. The world melts into a blur inside the rain. The colors of the sky have deepened from gray to dark blue, with hues of red added to the mix, from the sunlight reflecting off the clouds. The low-hanging sky looks pretty, as if I could reach out my hand and touch it. Have I told you how much I like rain? It's like paintings. It's like painting. It makes me feel connected. Almost echoing my thoughts, Rin lets out one of her own. It slips out of her mouth, circling around us gently. Everything looks so soft, like the outlines of things just disappear. I like that. It's like the rain is hugging me. Her voice sounds different from usual, more gentle now, and soft. I wonder if it's only because of the rain or because of the mood the rain brought up upon the quiet artist girl. I feel that mood in myself too, enhanced by her words. Yeah, I like rainy weather too. It's nice every once in a while. I wonder what it is about the rain. Everything. A silence follows this statement as though it allows for no continuation. I decide to push that in the direction of the conversation a little. But you know, if you like the feeling of being connected... Wow, you really had to do this lead-in? If you like the feeling of being connected, what's the problem with showing your paintings to others? Don't you want to be connected to other people? It's not the same thing. You're comparing apples and squids. I brought up the subject Rin wants to avoid, and it shuts her down again. The question stays hanging between us for the rest of the trip back to school, and I can't help wondering what on earth I could have said to truly reach Rin. Does she feel that she's lacking an identity? She has a strong personality, but if pressed to elaborate, I'm not sure I could describe it accurately. She feels like a person who is in constant conflict with herself. I never know what to expect when I talk to her. I wonder how she herself experiences that disconnect. Oh, wasn't that the name of one, is it the name of this scene? Disconnect? No. Umbrella Logic Cake is apparently that. I thought it was the name of the scene. Maybe it's her, arc. It's called Disconnect. If Rin is asking herself every day, who am I, and obsessively paints images to define herself day after day, what does she think of that way of living? The irony is, that's the exact same question I've been asking myself for the past 4 or 5 months. For me, it was miserable. I can only assume that it's the natural state of being for this girl. When we stop in front of the dormitories, Rin turns to face me as if sensing my thoughts from afar. Her gaze travels emptily past my left shoulder into the shapeless rainfall. Her dark eyes seem to suck the low ambient light into themselves, like a reverse mirror. That empty gaze lets nothing out. If I want to understand what's going on behind those eyes, I have to work it out myself. Rin opens her mouth, then closes it without saying anything. The silence lasts for a few more moments before she takes a step towards the dorm building door. See you tomorrow. Hisao, you gotta stop saying the wrong stuff. I said the wrong stuff, but all of them were like, you have to do this, so I just picked the one I thought was best. Why do you have to bring it up and ruin the nice time in the rain? The next morning, like every second Monday morning until he says otherwise. What? I don't get that. I have an appointment with the nurse. They allow me to skip part of my first class in the morning, and I don't feel any shame in skipping the rest either. Uh-oh. That's not good. We haven't been exercising. Watch him say, like, I walk quite frequently, I guess. Rather than being thankful to get to miss world history, I instead feel dread when thinking about these appointments. I wake up at the normal time anyway and wash myself in the bathroom I share with Kenji, tidying my sleep-disheveled hair. I quickly get dressed and put my laundry in the basket. I pack up for the school day. I have all my homework done as like usual, so I have a bit of free time now. There's no point in going to the morning class for 20 minutes before I'd have to go to the nurse's office, so I lie down on my bed and read a book until it's time to go. Don't fall asleep. Okay, good. The door to the nurse's office is open, which is unusual. I enter while knocking to announce my arrival. Looking up from his computer screen, he motions me to take a seat with a friendly hello. Steam wafts up from a piping hot cup of coffee on his desk. It's probably not his first today. How are you feeling on this wonderful morning, Hisao? I'm alright, I think. It was cold yesterday because of the rain, so I woke up feeling a bit groggy. You too, huh? Quite a few kids got caught without an umbrella, so we've been spending time handing out masks and curing sniffles. Alright, today's it's test day. Give me your arm. I extend my left arm towards him, keeping my face expressionless. The nurse ties a rubber tourniquet around my bicep with the practice movement and briskly goes about his business. I don't think anybody really likes getting stuck with needles, but at least I got over my distaste for them. I had to. Now, I barely even twitch at the moment of truth. Once that's done, a blood pressure check follows. Then there are checklists and questionnaires to go through. The nurse nods and scribbles in my answers to the questions as I give them. Alright, let's have a listen now. I unbutton my shirt and put it neatly on the back of the chair I was using while he puts on his stethoscope. I know by heart the order of places where he's going to listen to my lungs and heartbeat. I adjust my breathing to be even and deep without even being asked. It's become routine now for both of us. It's funny. This is pretty much the only time in one's life when you really concentrate on breathing and nothing else. It has always amused me. I hate when you accidentally concentrate on breathing though. Like when you're trying to go to bed and then you're just like inhale, exhale. And then you actually have to consciously breathe for a sec or else you'll die. Or at least that's my case. Now I feel really strange having said that. Anyways, the nurse lifts the cold steel stethoscope from my chest and places it a few inches lower, listening again. The contact of the metal makes me flinch on reflex, even though I was expecting it. He furrows his brow, but I can't tell if it's because he's unhappy or if he's trying to pick something specific out among the complex multitude of irregularities in my heartbeat. Is there something wrong? Please don't talk. I shut up and become more anxious. The nurse is nice, but I can't help disliking these mandatory checkups. I wonder if I'm going to end up hating all the medical appointments from now on because of these. He finally lifts the circular metal plate from my chest, allowing me to talk again. Everything seems to be fine. Are you feeling alright yourself? I suppose I was out yesterday when it was raining, and yeah, I feel a bit under the weather in the morning. Maybe I caught a cold. Were you with Emmy? She came down with a cold too. My people told her to stay in bed for a day or two. Really? I mean, I was with her, but I didn't know she got sick. I guess it was a dumb thing after all, for her to go out in the rain like that. Yeah, well, let's put that aside. Everything seems to check out for you, but remember to be careful. Of course, I really don't want to go back to the hospital. He catches something, maybe repressed terror, I don't know, in my voice and glances up from some papers he was looking at. Hey, don't worry, at this stage, it would take a huge crash in condition to get you re-hospitalized. Doesn't really reassure me, but grumbling about it to him won't make any difference. I quietly take my leave. Walking along the corridor from the auxiliary building to the main school building, I encounter a young female nurse coming the other way. She smiles at me when we pass by each other. Okay, that was random. I thought we were gonna actually meet someone new. I was like, hey, new person. The lobby is empty of people. No surprise since classes are still going on. I hear muffled sounds of discussion coming from behind the first floor classroom doors. I glance at my watch. I'd have to rush to get to my classroom in time, and I don't feel like going to class anyway, so I decide to climb up to the roof and have an extra long lunch break. I made promise she'd bring something for me today, but if she's sick, that's probably not going to happen. I'm not feeling hungry anyway, so it's all the same. I climb up the steep stairwell the climb up to the steep stairwell to the roof is oddly liberating, almost like losing weight. I feel satisfaction that it doesn't win me as badly as it did the first time I came up here. I push open the squeaky door at the top and step into sunlight. The chain link fence allows for a grand view over the treetops all the way to the gray silhouettes of downtown further away. The dreary weather of yesterday is just a memory now. The silvery blue sky seems to be a mere arm's reach away. I forget that for a moment I'm in a bad mood. Why are you in a bad mood? I don't know that. The warmth of the sun soaks into my bones, making me drowsy and lazy instead. The bells ring for lunch break, startling me back into reality. Soon afterwards, the quad below me bursts into life. Students pour out of the doors down onto the ground floor, intent on enjoying lunch at the quad and the lush gardens in this perfect weather. When I hear the door to the stairwell being pushed open, I don't bother turning to see who it is. The intruder starts coming towards me with uneven footsteps. The little river stones the roof is covered with rattle and crunch underfoot. The footsteps stop a few feet behind me, followed by a silence. I look upwards into the glowing eye of the sun, absorbing its warmth with my whole body. What are you doing? I turn around out of courtesy at her first words to behold the slim, awkward figure of Rin Tezuka. She looks very much like herself today. No. Get out. This is gonna mess it up. It's gonna mess it up. No. Okay, good. Awkward figure of Rin Tezuka. She looks very much like herself today, too. Her hair is maybe a tad messier than usual, as if she just got out of bed. She stands with her weight shifted onto one foot, looking at me with mild curiosity, as if I were something in a store's display window. I don't know, just spacing out, I guess. What about you? Emmy promised food. We usually eat here. I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed. I heard Emmy came down with a cold. Oh, I guess that makes sense. She wasn't in class. It's not that common to get a cold in June, though. You don't think she went running at the track afterwards like she said. The rain just kept going. Probably. In the rain? In the rain. That sounds like a bit too much for just keeping up with the training regime. Yeah. Emmy is a hard-headed one, though, so I can see her running in the downpour just because she had to. Well, that's obviously overdoing it. Probably why she came down with that cold, too. But I guess it's kinda cool. Speaking of that, I'm not feeling well either. Achoo! Rin sneezes pretty hard, failing to stop it in time. She cranes her head down to wipe her nose on her shoulder, so deciding that would be too unladylike, I pull out my handkerchief and hold it to her nose. Here, bless you. Thanks. She clears her nose and I dab the handkerchief gently on it, wiping it clean. Her nose is really cute. Oddly enough, it's probably the girliest part of Rin's face. I think I'm blushing a little, but Rin doesn't notice. Thanks. I think I might be coming up with or down with something too, like I was saying. Hope not. Rin doesn't seem to be bothered about eating, so despite the lack of Emmy-provided lunch, we stay up on the rooftop. She comes over and stands next to me, right up against the fence, looking into the same abstract distance as I am. Nobody else seems to be coming around to intrude upon the calmness either. It's quiet and peaceful. What does one do on a lunch break if not eat? turns out that between the two of us, we don't really know. Fortunately, passing time is an activity that manages itself just fine. Even though there is no conversation to fill the silence between the passing seconds, there's no pointless activities like cloud gazing to spend upon the minutes between now and then. Time marches on relentlessly. I keep checking the time on my watch, then decide it's a dumb thing to do. Instead, I try to hold out for as long as possible before I check it again. Maybe I can hold out for 6 or 7 minutes. Rin remains silent, idly looking up at the cerulean expanse above us. I wonder why. More often than not, we don't speak much. She said that she doesn't like speaking because of her perceived difficulties with expressing herself properly. As for me, I think I just got sucked into the habit at the hospital where I spent such a long stretch of time never really talking to anyone. Most of the time I feel comfortable about this quiet mood, and even when I get the feeling that I have to break the silence, it's always so difficult to come up with something to talk about when it's with Rin. She and I are in such different wavelengths that nothing seems to be on common ground. What is it that you like about this sky so much? She turns to me, her eyes dark and serious. Sky is the only thing that is perfect. I know it. You could say I'm an expert of sky if you wanted, and I am, even if you didn't want to, a sky expert. It's always different, but it's always perfect, also when it's different. I follow her gaze into the boundless blue expanse, thinking of her words. Have you ever wanted to be something different? It wouldn't be so bad to be the sky. No, I mean someone else, someone different. To go to a normal school like everyone else, not have to worry about stuff. What stuff? Trying to find the right words for a moment, but I can't manage to form a sentence that I'd be comfortable with actually using. Man, I don't really want to say it out loud. Try. I'm not so good at mind reading. Don't you ever want to not be disabled? She thinks about this, and then shakes her head, frowning. That's a hard question. I don't know what to say. It's okay if you don't say anything. For some reason, I'm just so unsatisfied with who I am right now that I'm constantly thinking stuff like that. It's pretty hard to admit, but there it is. Honestly, I feel relieved about finally saying it aloud to someone, even if it's just Rin. What do you mean, just Rin? I think I want to be different sometimes. I've thought about changing myself lately, but it's a bit scary, like walking backwards with your eyes closed. The difficult part is to know where your toes are not pointing at. I mean, directions. Even if I don't do anything, I would never stay the same. It's like my old paintings. They are different than what I paint now because I'm different, but they are still my paintings, so they are something the same. That's really strange. I am different every day, but I'm still me every day. Who am I then? Is that a riddle? If you want it to be. I don't know the right answer though, so you have to come up with it yourself. Well, it's the sky, isn't it? Going by your definition just now. I actually managed to surprise her by that. Maybe she had already forgotten about it. That's right, but I was thinking about myself when I said that. Very strange. Could it be that I actually am the sky? I don't think that's possible. Your logic's a bit off somewhere. She looks down and shuts up, and I can see she's quickly going over the deduction mentally, seemingly unhappy with the result she finally arrives at. Yeah, maybe I'm not this guy. Would make sense. I have a hard time knowing what kind of person I am. You're not the only one. It's like my mind is in some other place than the rest of me. Underwater. Yeah, I wonder how I got there. I have no answer, so a brief silence falls between us for a moment. I shift my gaze back to the sky above us. The last time I really paid much attention to the sky was, I guess it must have been at the hospital. I could only see a thin strip of sky from the window of my room. If I walked up to the windows and pressed my face against the cold glass, the strip became bigger, but not by much. That sky made me feel sad and lonely, a remainder of the world on the other side. I wonder if there's another world beyond the sky we see from up here on the school's roof as well. I can't stop comparing life at Yamaku to my hospitalization, but I really should. I'm not there anymore. The narrow sky from the window of my hospital room, the faces of the doctors, the faces of my parents, the off-white walls everywhere, and Wanako's letter echoing the words she never said. They're things of the past now. I wish I could forget everything up until now, and that time would stop completely. There would be only me, Rin, the sky, an eternal lunch break on this rooftop, perfect, unchanging, and forever. I'm not sure if I like or hate this school. I could have gone to a normal school if I wanted, but I chose to come here. Why? I just decided I would. Kind of like melon or plum jelly. Do you think it was a good idea? I mean, there are a lot of good things about this school, but I think there are a few bad things also. I know. I kind of collect people because they are interesting. People here really are amazing, most of them, but not all. Some people I can't take it. Some people can't take it. They hurt too much. It gets really bad sometimes, you know? They hurt. I wonder if you're like that too. I hope not. I don't like things like that. Hey, I'm not your case study, and I'm not gonna give up and die or anything. Anyway, I meant more like that this place is too distant from the real world. What's the real world? Everything out there, real people with normal everyday lives that fit together like a puzzle. You don't think we aren't like that, real people? Maybe we aren't. Well, no, we are. I just mean that it feels more like we're the leftover pieces. Rin thinks for a while, her almost almond-shaped eyes narrowing as she bites her lip a little bit like a child. Is it hard to be disabled? Her question earns a dry chuckle from me. You tell me, you've been in this business a lot longer than I have. She thinks about that for another while. I don't really feel that disabled. I mean, I do pretty much everything differently, but it's not that hard. I can always practice. I started to practice food things this year. I think I want to learn to cook in a real kitchen someday. That's admirable, but I don't think it's a just state of mind. Maybe not to you. I have no good counter to that, so I concede by falling silent. The situation is making me more and more confused. I know what I want, but I don't know how to reach it. Rin seems to believe she can simply will herself into the shape she thinks she needs to be, but can't decide whether she wants to be a bird or a butterfly. I think, in the end, I'm not really that happy with who I am either, but that doesn't mean I regret being who I am. That's the thing that's wrong with you, Hisao. I've only started to process that rather blunt statement before Rin suddenly hugs me. What are you doing? I've never been hugged by a girl with no arms before. To be honest, it doesn't really physically feel like a hug. The awkward way she presses her body against mine and the lack of embracing arms makes it feel like she fell on top of me. But the warmth of a real hug is still there, and that's how I recognize it for what it is. I'm hugging you, Hisao. I know that, but... Is it wrong? I thought this is what you're supposed to do. I'm not really used to this kind of thing. The first time Emmy hugged me, I got surprised and kicked her in the stomach. I can kick pretty hard, so she hasn't been hugging me an awful lot after that. It's not wrong. It's just me. Things are just a bit hard for me for the time being. I can't seem to react properly to anything. Really? So, it is hard being disabled after all. I guess she has me cornered there. I don't have the energy to start arguing against it, but I feel like I have to get something out. Well, no, it's not hard. I think it's just me overthinking things. I really wish I didn't feel so sorry for myself all the time. I wonder if I was I always was this fragile or if I became this way after my incident. Nothing had ever truly shaken my world like that before, so there's no telling. Rin presses her cheek against mine tightly. I can feel the warmth of her body close against me. Her body temperature feels really high, as if she has absorbed the sunlight into herself and was now sharing it with me. Or perhaps it's a natural state for her, or perhaps she has a fever because she said she was sick. It's the most comforting thing I've felt in a long time. Wow, your heartbeat really does sound really weird. It's like a drunken percussion orchestra. Please don't say stuff like that. I get very uncomfortable. I laugh at her comment anyways, in an attempt to ease the tension. It sounds a little bit too forced. Man, I'm sorry I'm such a mess. It's okay. It's the best part of you. Hearing that doesn't make me happy. She breaks off the hug and settles down. An awkward silence falls upon us like a blanket, me feeling embarrassed about myself and Rin trying to arrange her expression to something she likes. One last time I glance upwards. This rooftop is really great. It's like I'm just a little bit closer to the sky. I know a better place, but we can't go there on lunch break. I can take you there sometime if you want. The bells ring for the beginning of afternoon classes and Rin stands up to make her way downstairs. I don't hurry after her, deciding to stay up here for just a little while longer. Thanks for the hug. Thanks for not kicking me. After Rin leaves, I finally let tears roll down my cheeks and cry for my condition for the first time and only time in my life. Then I cast away that hollow person lying on the hospital bed forever. Good job. Congrats on kicking that hollow person. Okay. 2 days later, I'm feeling less miserable. I even go for a long, brisk, healthy walk like the nurse recommended, something which I had avoided and dodged with all sorts of excuses earlier. I feel more active in class as well, delighting our science/homeroom teacher, Mr. Mittal, with correct and promptly delivered answers. The break right now between 2 morning classes is too short for any sort of meaningful activity, but too long just to spend it sitting in the classroom and doing nothing. Going out into the hallway isn't much better, but flexing my stiffened muscles is a better use of time than letting them get stiffer by staying seated. Just a sec. Sorry about that. Going out into the hallway isn't much better, but flexing my stiffened muscles is a better use of time than letting them getting even stiffer by staying seated. The door of the neighboring classroom opens, and the students of 3-4 emerge to further fill up the already semi-crowded hallway. It seems their teacher kept them in for a few extra minutes. Emmy is among them. She notices me noticing her, which almost makes me look away on reflex. Oh, I do that all the time by accident. Reflex. I don't, however, and Emmy smiles at me as she happily skips towards me past the other students. Emmy looks pretty energetic, showing no signs of illness whatsoever. It seems she recovered from the cold. Hey, good morning. Nice to see you back on your feet. Feeling better now? She looks fine to me, but I still feel compelled to ask. Thanks, and yeah, I do. It was cold. Nothing serious. Emmy laughs confidently as if to emphasize her condition. I wonder for a moment what would count as serious in Emmy's book. She seems to be eager to put that topic aside, though. Where are you going? Oh, that was me. Where are you going? Off to Rin's room to see if she's awake yet. Oh, she skipped the morning class. A sheepish smile emerges on Emmy's face and she gets slightly flustered. Not exactly. It seems that she caught the cold that I had. Sorry to hear about that. Well, she was out in the rain on Sunday with us after all. I saw her on Monday and she was feeling a bit under the weather back then too. Yeah, anyway, I'll ask the nurse for some cold medication to give her if she doesn't get better soon. She leaves for the girls' dorm. I want to go with her to wish Win well. I want to tell her that I'm better now too, but it doesn't feel appropriate. An unspecific feeling diverts thoughts away. Somehow I just can't summon the resolve to go in there. Is this what Iwanaka went through when she tried to tell me what she felt? Go do it. Are you weakling? Why didn't you just go see Rin? There's literally no shame in doing that. Even though I'm feeling more energetic, I'm still hesitant about going over there to talk to Rin. It's not until 2 days later on Friday that I finally gather enough courage to enter the girls' dorm. I ask the first person I meet inside for directions to Rin's room. I knock on Rin's unmarked door and wait. After a few seconds of silence, I hear something rustling inside the room. I start wondering if maybe I should have brought something for her, like a can of warm coffee or some oranges. I could have peeled them for her. Well, too late now. The door opens soundlessly. It was already unlocked, and I found myself staring at Rin, who stares back at me. She looks like she just got out of bed with her hair all messed up. Okay. And barely any clothes on. Hello. There's a strange, stupid-looking smile on Rin's face. I'm not exactly sure why. Rin smiles so rarely that it seems to be out of place every time. Especially so now, given our partially undressed state. Said state makes me feel extremely conflicted about whether or not this was a good idea. Her cheeks are flushed rose red, contrasting the milky pale complexion of a person who doesn't get enough sunlight. Her forehead looks sweaty, as though she might have a fever. Hi. Now what? I didn't plan on anything further than this, and Rin is staring at me with those expectant eyes of hers again. Something about this situation gives me a very strange vibes. Her eyes are even more vacant than usual, and she seems to have a hard time focusing them on anything. Is she on drugs? The lack of clothing is disturbing, but she herself doesn't seem to be bothered. Why should I be? I keep telling myself that. I thought I'd pay you a visit since you haven't been at the art club, and I wanted to talk with you and wish you well. Rin doesn't show any sign of recognizing what I just said, making me wonder if she actually understood my words, or if she even heard them. Maybe it's the fever making her groggy, so she might have been actually asleep before I came over. Okay. She turns on her heel and withdraws from the door, walking back inside the small room. From the doorway, I can see her walk to the bed and half fall down, half sit down on the messy pile of bed sheets. The open doorway seems to be more of an obstacle in my mind than a closed door was, but since Rin doesn't say anything else, I step through it and into her room. Hey, she's actually got decorations and stuff. And a TV. Whoa. Rin is on her bed leaning against the wall, leaving the only chair in the room for me. She keeps quiet even after I sit down, so maybe she wanted to invite me in but just forgot to say so aloud. An implied invitation, as it were. Very exciting. Nobody has visited me before. The breaking of silence draws my attention from the room to its inhabitant, who currently seems to be in the middle of a very profound thought process. Actually, that was not true about visiting, but Emmy doesn't count even if she visits. She always pampers me too much. I think she's having too much fun. I think I forgot how to put a bra on by myself. Oh, that explains it. She looks groggily down at her chest, which is probably why I don't have one on now that I think about it. I haven't failed to notice that Rin doesn't have her shirt buttoned up either, but I try to keep my eyes strictly locked on hers. It's rather evident that she's not a very body-conscious person. My own body, however, is quite conscious of hers right now. She came to wake me up at 7:30 today. Can you imagine that? She pauses for a while and glances up at my dumbfounded face. On second thought, you probably can. It's not like that reverse rainbow fish I tried to imagine earlier. That was hard. Well, yes, it seems like a pretty normal time to wake up if you want to go to class in the morning. I'm trying to sound as reasonable as possible to counteract Rin's unreasonable annoyance. I told her to sod off. She gave me these meds and told me to take them. I follow her eyes to the night table, then to the pill bottle sitting on top of it. Hey, that's the exact same as mine. pick it up and turn it around to look at the label so I can see what kind of medication Emmy brought. Active ingredient codeine. Codeine? You took all of these? No. Yes, I've been eating some since there are so many of them. Seem to make this thing not so bad. Actually, I think I'm feeling just fine. Her head lolls round and around, making it look like she's either trying to stretch her neck muscles or probably pass out. She took several of these pills. Can that be safe? At least, it's bound to have some side effects, which I'm afraid I'm witnessing right now. I'm feeling just fine. I am fine. Just someone take this buzzing away from my head. I can't think straight. The annoyed expression returns to Rin's face. It's like many of those insect things, or one really big insect thing. With lots of wings, with very much color and everything. What's the word for those? Oh, never mind, I remembered. It's butterflies. She smiles slightly at her last observation. The small pause in her monologue is not likely long enough for me to dare say something that could potentially, but not likely, salvage this discussion. I love butterflies. They are the best animal. Did you see any on your way here? Hisao. She utters my name as an afterthought, possibly to make clear that she's now addressing me instead of just speaking her mind to whoever might be listening. This odd situation has left me speechless, more or less, since the moment Rin first opened her mouth. Now that she herself doesn't... Oh, I skipped it. Oops. Now that she herself doesn't seem to have anything else to add, silence fills the small room. It makes me glance around again in an attempt to find something to talk about. Say how many butterflies you saw. Rin's room is about as small as mine. The big window, which takes up most of the wall furthest from the door, opens to the east just like mine. It looks very normal, which strikes me as strange. I expected something more different. About a dozen paintings, most of them in Rin's signature abstract style, and a few art posters are taking up almost all the available wall space, but that's about the only real difference between her room and mine. The room is not exactly aesthetic, or ascetic. That's not... Okay, if I'm thinking of the acid, which is spelled like that, what's that mean? But it doesn't look like what I'd expected from a girl's room either. The faint smell of art, of paint and paper is floating in the air. It's the same smell the art room has. Rin isn't too concerned about being tidy, it seems. Everything she owns seems to be arranged in various piles around her room. Well, Rin, we'll keep analyzing your room next time, because I think it's been an hour. I hope it has. Watch it be like 58 minutes or something. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time.